Welcome back, smegheads, and welcome to Smug Mode, a Red Dwarf podcast where we discuss the British cult sci-fi comedy classic Red Dwarf. I'm Ben Gilman. As always, I'm joined by Tom Hill.
Howdy doodly doo.
The fuck was that?
Troy Simon and
Yeah, there.
and Dan Rhodes. What the hell is going on?
Top of the morning to you.
Lovely, lads. And today, hopefully, if we can get it together, we're discussing episode 4, season 4, White Hole. Smug mode is engaged, white holes. So this episode is the Red Dwarf crew set out to restore Holly's IQ with the use of, unfortunately, Talkie Toaster, who needs to dismantle because Talkie Toaster winds him up with his obsession of serving toast. But something goes wrong and Red Dwarf loses power and the crew find themselves heading towards a white hole. That is spewing time back into the universe. So what did you guys think of this one?
I like this one. The whole premise of playing pool with planets is just
Yeah, that import, that me, that was that import, yeah.
I have a premonition.
go on.
This is jumping ahead. You know when Crichton and Rimmer are in the corridor and they look a bit fat? I thought, oh, that's the Dave era Red Dwarf right there. Everyone looks a bit fatter. Huh.
Oh
The
my
BBC, the
gosh.
BBC, a couple of seasons later, season 9 and 10, they're going to start looking that fat. Lovely. Can't wait.
Wow.
It's true.
Harsh.
Wow.
We'll get to it when we get to season 10, man, because they all look a bit fatter. It's ridiculous.
What time has that affected everyone, Ben?
We'll pick this up again in 2021, but I'm not lying.
Ben, you savage.
Gosh, they will look so good on the BBC series. And then you get to season 9 and 10, they look like they've had a 10-year cocaine binge. And it's just not good.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben.
Stop it, bro.
In their defense, they probably have.
Exactly, the rock star.
I'm just jealous because they've had more fun than me. Anyway,
Yes.
so
And
Anyway.
Red Dwarf Dad Bod Edition is not bad.
we'll get there in about a couple more months.
Red Dwarf Dad Bod Edition is good.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Dad bod. When did that become a thing? So we start with Talkie Toaster, the return of Talkie Toaster back from the dead, just in time for Halloween. Oh, we're recording this a couple of days after Halloween. Forget that. I do find the most disturbing thing, though, is the camera angle on Crichton's chin, because the camera angle makes him look like he's got a big old Matt Smith one, like a big old. I'm gonna put your eyes up.
Chin. Oh.
I'm also impressed that Lister knows so many bread products because he shuts Talkie Toaster down.
So you're a waffle man.
Well done to Lister. And Talkie Toaster did make me laugh. But I do think that he outstayed his welcome later in the episode. At the beginning, fine. But was getting sick of him by the time he appeared later.
Oh, with Holly.
Holly.
Who you know?
This is directly too far.
But but that was a plot device. You needed him to ask you needed him to ask the questions. Because you didn't have any of the crew there at the time. So he had to be there. That was a necessary plot device. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about toast, fair enough, but you had to leave that in there because the whole point is you've set up that this creation is obsessed with toasted bread products. So if you stopped him being that, you've taken away the entire premise of the joke in the first place.
Who's got the more annoying voice, the original Talkie Toaster or this Talkie Toaster? Which one's the more annoying?
Can I answer that question by giving you another fact entirely?
Okay.
This Talkie Toaster was originally supposed to have another story arc built around him where he took over Red Dwarf entirely. But the audience found him so annoying that they scrapped the storyline.
No, fair enough.
That is why we've got such a good audience for this podcast, because Red Dwarf fans are clever and smart. They know shit when they see it. So,
Yeah.
To call him shit is a bit unfair. To call him grating, yes.
Yeah, that's about exactly.
I'm glad we don't see him again after this episode. He never comes back. I'm really
Honestly, I'd have a talkie toaster.
Oh, damn right.
You want a crumpet? Yeah, why not? Crumpet time. Toast? Yep, good for me. Toast. Give me toast.
definitely. Dad would be joining them in the dad bod section within a week if that happened. So I do think
within a week. Try a week ago.
Okay.
A week ago.
So no smegging flapjack should be a podcast. I looked out and no smegging flapjacks. That should have been the podcast name. I love our smug mode one, but no smegging.
I still think Everybody's Dead, Dave, was a good shout for it. But yeah, no smegging flapjacks is a good name for a podcast.
I've written it down because this isn't the greatest episode. So I've got things. I've got a bit of a weird one. I've also got down here Eskimos are arseholes to old people.
No, Eskimos have a tradition of letting the elderly go out and die.
Yes.
In fairness, I don't think that the youth insist upon it. I think the elderly people make that choice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a case of they go, all right, you've hit 70, fuck off, mate. I think it's a case of the old guy goes, I've now reached a point where I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving. So, yeah. Anyway, not the point.
So restoring Holly's 6,000 IQ would be an interesting thing. But I do. Can I just say that I love the fact that it's an interesting look because the actress, we can actually see her real, instead of the wig, it's her natural hair. She looks very different without the wig on it. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, originally the original idea was that the 12,000 IQ Holly would be bald with a pair of glasses, and then they decided against that.
Oh no. For a pair of glasses. Yeah, that's a good decision. I think they changed it.
I suppose it would have looked closer to Holly, like the original Holly.
She looks younger.
It's like a more modernized take on it.
Yeah.
Like, up to date.
She does look a lot younger. It's a bit interesting, and I
Yeah.
also love her face when the IQ goes down to 6. That's me after a shot, guys. That's me after a bit of tequila. Or suck a lemon, you know what I mean? You got your finger caught in the door or something.
But the thing is,
Yes, it's a very specific facial expression. It's known colloquially as a glark.
Really? I didn't know this.
oh gosh.
Out of interest, and somebody might be, is this the only episode where Holly refers to Rimmer as a smeghead?
Oh, it's a joyous moment when she does
No,
that.
Yeah, it is a brilliant moment when she does, but is it the only time that Holly actually does that?
I think does it. I think she's done it already.
To his face?
No, you know what? Because Crichton, I think I mix it up because Crichton clearly goes for him as well in this episode. Rimmer gets buried this episode. He gets told to smeg off quite a few times. It's brilliant. I love this.
Yes.
I love Rimmer, but there's nothing much more satisfying because it's the whole you want to tell your boss at your job sometimes to smeg off in past jobs. You know what I mean? It's just that's why it's so satisfying to see Rimmer get told to smeg off. I love him.
Go on then, Tom.
Well, after that impassioned speech.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, Ben, tell us how you really feel.
I haven't named him, and I love my current job, so I know they're listening. So hey, I know that. Isn't Napoleon Hitler, but in a different time zone? Question.
What?
What?
Well, because I mean, Napoleon invaded
Using your head
people.
as a battering ram. There.
No, hold on. Yeah, I'm about to get to that one as well. But they keep going on about Napoleon, but he's just a nasty piece of shit that invaded people like Hitler. He's not much better than Hitler, right?
No, I think you'll find Hitler was a lot worse.
Okay.
Yeah, he's nowhere near Hitler. Trust me.
Okay.
Napoleon
was a military general who took over France and went to war with a couple of countries, but I think as a general rule, the other countries started it to try and get him out of power. I don't think he actively went in search of invading anybody. But I could be wrong on that.
I think you're correct on that.
I
I think Rimmer just likes it because it gets us a nice hat. Also, the Belgians get kicked again. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a kick-in for the Belgians.
The opportunity to march across the...
I really want to talk to the writers of this show one day and get them on this podcast and just talk to them. What happened in Belgium to you? What happened to you in Belgium when you were younger?
Did someone throw you in a canal?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He did something to him. I don't know what the heck it was.
Also,
serious.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, Kat's would be happy with Rimmer's death. I can't remember the actual exact line, but once again, Kat was over the moon.
This I also, once again, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time where Kat makes a suggestion and Crite replies with an excellent plan, sir, with only 2 minor drawbacks?
Yes.
I love that phrase.
This one.
I know it comes up a lot in season 5, but
2 minor drawbacks.
I think this is the first time it comes up.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the one.
It's like it's also Space Corrective, Space Directive, Space Core Directive. It's happening now. You're beginning to hear those jokes.
And then Rimmer Directive, no chance, you metal bastard, or something like that.
Yeah, no chance, you metal bastard.
Metal bastard.
Wait, Tom. Are we not skipping over one of your favourite bits?
Wait a minute. There's quite a few.
Computer senility. It's such a weird condition. I know. I had a mechanoid friend once who suffered from the same. His name is Gilbert.
What was
he preferred it? Ramesses Nibbler III, kerplunk, kerplunk, whoops, where's my fribble?
Which was the name of one of my pets, yes. We all called him Gilbert, but officially his title was
Ramesses Nibbler III, kerplunk, kerplunk,
whoops, where's my fribble, yes.
Oh, God.
I'd completely forgotten about that, yeah, thanks. What's the one? I'm just thinking that there's another point in this one that's similar to, the moment when you realise that when Rimmer's in the shit in Justice World, when they're talking about how they're going to get through 53 doors without any power. It's something like 6 feet long, sturdy, with a flat
top.
It is
like you get it the moment they start saying 6 feet long, sturdy, and like
Bryson does not clock on.
And that's brilliant about it, though.
You're like, right, I'm fine, thank you, Susan. Must win self-determination for the South Moldavian people.
Oh gosh! Oh yeah, that's it. There was another joke in there as well. It was the same kind of point when you were talking about as well about the door. I think it was just before when he using the battering ram. When Crichton was talking about listen. You want to hear anything? And the cat and Rimmer was like, "What? No, what the heck are you talking about?" And then Crichton was like, "Exactly, no one can hear anything. You know why we can't hear anything?" And then they were like, "Why?" Because there are no sounds to hear. And then Rimmer goes, "Wait, isn't it a bit time to head to go back to the lab for retuning?"
I do love the fact when the cat goes, "Hey, we can laser our way through the 53 doors," and Crichton's like, "Good plan. We don't have a power source for the lasers, and we don't have any lasers."
Yeah, that's the one. That's one of the lasers. Good plan, sir.
With only 2 minor drawbacks.
Also, I've got a question. Who's Captain Oates?
Really?
Yes, he's Captain Oates.
Captain Oates was he led one of the first expeditions to the North Pole, and they were all in deep trouble, caught in a blizzard, and they were unlikely to survive unless their numbers reduced. Basically, they had enough food for like 1 or 2 people to survive. Yeah. And Captain Oates got up famously and said, I'm going out for a walk, I may be some time, with the intention of just walking out into the snow and dying to try and save his men.
Lovely.
But as Rimmer pointed out, the only way we know this is true is because it's what Scott wrote in his diary, and he's hardly like to say bashed Oates over the head.
Exactly, because he wants to sound bad, is he? I hate him.
Better to say Oates made the supreme sacrifice while you're dabbing up his gravy with the last piece of crusty bread.
Oh God. Sacrifice.
I'd just like to point out, Lister cycling for Cat's power would never work, right? Like,
hey, we're cooking now. How'd you like your eggs? Perm to blow right.
Well, I've also got another thing with this scene. They're going on about electric blanket, but the cat's not holding an electric blanket in the bunk bed. There's no electric blanket.
Oh yeah.
No.
I can see like what is it? Budget problems? I don't know why. I've just got a super sensitive eye on that.
Probably just a little side. And then you got that scene. It must have been a bitch to record where they have to keep repeating themselves constantly.
What is it? So what is it? That joke.
Only joking.
I love that.
But that must have been a real bitch to learn. And then obviously you have to talk about the fact that Lister is steaming when he takes that shot.
Miss, you said what? Miss, you
I'm
said
not going to miss.
I know what I'm doing, not beast.
Not pished. He said pished.
We're all going to die.
I can handle it. I'm not sure I can. Define nicely drunk. Is nicely drunk horizontal or perpendicular?
Noodle doodle is my new favourite word. I'm going to use that. Noodle doodle. Because at one point, Lister's saying, everything's fine, and he says noodle doodle. Yeah, take that. That's my new favourite word.
I don't remember that.
Dollar pound is a pool word, right?
No, dollar pound is the unit of currency on Earth at in the 22nd century. Dollars and pounds have been combined together for a dollar. So it's the sound as a pound, is what it would have said in the 20th century. 2
pointers. I do love the fact that he needs Zaga to play well. That's like me. I need a few beers before I start to play pool magically well. If I'm sober, it's terrible. A couple of beers and it helps me. And also,
a couple of beers and it helps you not care anymore. That's the difference, Ben.
It takes the anxiety out when you're playing pool. And I do love the fact that he's got like a gun type pool cue. I wish I could have one of those. It just fires.
That would be awesome.
It reminded me of the old, Nintendo Entertainment System gun for Duck Hunt.
That's true, yeah.
Super Sco. Oh yeah, the old NES one. Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
Would not surprise me if they salvaged that from an NES one.
Anyway, yeah. Here's the question: do you think it was a trick shot?
No.
Yeah.
I think it was trick shot.
I have faith in Lister.
Trick shot, maybe. It was trick shot.
The almighty monkey.
Almighty monkey. The principal.
King of the Prince of the Planet Potters.
Oh, Prince of the Planet Potters. Sorry. I've got here Prince of Pooh. Prince of, Liverpool. I've got that wrong. Prince of the Poppers.
Prince of the Planet Potters, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for correcting me.
King of the Qs, Prince of the Planet Potters, I think it
is. Susan. Oh, I've just remembered. Lister went, "You okay, man?" And cried after they've used it as a better around. I'm fine, thank you,
I'm
Susan.
fine, Susan.
That makes
Susan.
Yeah.
She said so simply as well. I'm fine, thank you, Susan.
Yeah. I get his berries back.
Exactly.
Oh god. What is it?
So what do we think of this episode then, altogether?
I like it,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah, I like it.
Troy?
I think it's probably my third favourite in this series.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say third favorite as well. I love the flipping DNA. DNA was my favorite. I think.
DNA, and
DNA
DNA
Yeah,
is the second.
perfect.
No, DNA is the second best. Episode 5, the one we will come to soon, is, in my opinion, the best episode of season 4.
Oh, see, now you've
Introduces the greatest character of all time.
Oh, damn! That's some high praise. Okay.
no. See, the thing is, Tom does this a lot, and then it makes me build up anticipation for the episode, and it puts it. I'm sure he's correct. He's never normally wrong, but still.
Do you honestly not remember who appears in episode 5 of season 4?
Yeah, but don't spoil it for me. Shush. I watched it. When I watched Red Dwarf back when I was younger, I watched them because the BBC used to randomly have different seasons on.
That's
It's
true.
only now through the DVDs when they came out 20 years ago, and now watching it on Netflix again, you begin to see the order of the episodes because they used to put them on Hodgy like all over the place, so you never quite knew where everything was. But now I'm beginning to see where stuff goes. So I'm going to walk into next week's episode blind.
Fair enough.
Absolutely no spoilers for me. Thank you very much.
Not saying a word.
And that bombshell, shall we leave it be?
We haven't asked Troy what he thinks. Oh, he already has told us.
No, I told you. Yeah.
Smoke me a kipper. I've accidentally spoiled myself. Smoke me a kipper.
Oh, gee, Ben, what are you doing?
Lovely. Right, well, that's it. It's goodbye for me.
Bye from me.
Bye for me.
And I would like to take the opportunity to say that you are the most obnoxious, trumped up, farty little smeghead it has ever been my misfortune to encounter.
Thank you, Dan. I love you too. Goodbye. Smegheads. Smeg off.